Welcome back, guys. This is George Raw. Today we're gonna do a quick video review here of the Batman Arkham Knight figure from Prime 1 Studios for the Batman Statue Collector channel. But of course, as you may imagine, it's not only about this version, because this is very old and you have seen a lot of video reviews of it, but it's of all of the three versions that Prime 1 released of this figure. And I believe that they are together here for the first time on a video on YouTube, and this is the battle damage version on the left side, the original version in the middle, and the prestige version here on the right. So this statue was the first to start off the Arkham line, and most of you that know me will certainly have realized that I love this line. So I've got all the figures of the line, apart from the XE Batman suit, but which will be joining the collection shortly. And man, I mean, this was a really amazing kickoff of this line. This figure is just badass, so much attitude, such a nice museum pose, really cool. So since all of you know these statues quite well, I would just like to go through it pretty quickly, and the intention of this video was just to show you all of the three versions next to each other, but not going into so much detail here of these figures. So let's start off with the original version. So this is the regular version without the hand with the batarang. So basically, well, as you know, the head is a separate part, this shoulder pad here is a separate part, holding the cape in place. The cape is a separate part, of course. Then these shoulder pads, this one and the other one are separate parts. Chest plate is a separate part. So basically you could play around with these chest plates here from the different figures and just exchange them if you wanted to. And then this original version, like the suit in the game, of course, has a gray, black color scheme to it. So a lot of grays actually. It's a pretty clean version. Of course, you have these battle damage areas here where you have these scratches and stuff like that. But overall, the suit is pretty clean. Got, of course, this amazing utility belt here. So this right hand here with the gauntlet is a separate piece, so you can exchange it. The trousers here have a bit of this textile material, different textures here on the trousers, and then you have, of course, these reinforced boots. Everything's super nicely done, as you would expect here from a Prime 1 statue. And then you have these little gargoyles here in the base, just separate pieces. Be focused on that. So you can just put them out here, and they are fixed here with a magnet. The base is actually, I haven't seen any difference in the bases, so it's the same base with all of these figures here with the Batman sign on the back. The cape itself has this kind of a leathery material with these two areas here, more or less, here in the front, and then the, well, it's not two areas, basically it's just a very nice cape with some stitches here on it. Pretty cool. So it's of course fully posable with a lot of wires in it. Got these nice gauntlets here, as I said, with the fins, and of course these nice head expression. My only nitpick with these figures, but this is the movie, not the movie, sorry, the game design, is that the heads are really small. I mean, if you compare them with the heads of other figures, for example, the ones that are coming out now from the movie versions, like the Batfleck Batman, but also the Hush Batman, you will notice that these heads are much smaller. And I mean, if you compare the fist with the head, and then you compare your own fist with your own head, you will notice that a fist is not as big as a head, but here it's basically almost the same size. So, well, that's the game design. But although they are so small, the heads, it's really not disturbing, so it doesn't feel wrong. It's still a very cool design, but well, just wanted to notice that you have these shrink heads here on these figures somehow. So let's turn to the Prestige version. That was the second alternative version that came out of this figure pretty soon in the Arkham line. I think probably was released only 3/4 a year later than the original version. And that's the outfit that you get when you achieve to complete, I think, that the whole game, more or less 190 something % of the game. And the difference, as you can see, is that you don't have these lot of gray areas in the suit, but the suit is more dark black. And of course you have this really nice gold Batman emblem here on the chest plate, which is the greatest difference here of this figure, of course, to the normal version. It looks pretty awesome, I have to say. So I had this boxed up for a while, but now having it back here on display for this video, I realized that I really like it a lot. So it really pops, this gold Batman emblem here. So everything else is pretty similar. So you have the utility belt. The gauntlets here are much more black than the normal version. Basically the cape is absolutely the same. Shoulder pads are pretty much the same as well. Arms are, of course, as you can see here, black. Here they are more gray. So overall, as you can see, the difference is really that this suit is more like a stealth black version here of the suit. I like it a lot. Well, I leave it up to you which version do you like more. We'll just tell you that the base is pretty much the same, but the gargoyles are also, focus on that, also black on this version instead of gray in the normal version here of the statue. So now turning to the latest release here, the latest variant of this figure, which is super awesome. So that's the outfit here, the battle damaged outfit that you that basically you also have in the game once he's a bit more beaten up, so in the middle to the end of the game. So this was basically released as what we thought the last figure of the line. There was a bit of a controversy here to end the line with a variant of the first figure. I thought that this was kind of a nice move to start the line with Batman and finish it with Batman. Of course, back then I hated it because I loved this line, and there are still a lot of figures missing from the line, which I still hope we will get. Back in time then when this was announced, it was Ivy, Riddler, Penguin, Ra's al Ghul, Firefly, and a lot of the others. And well, as you know, in the meanwhile, P1 announced that the Arkham City Ivy will still be made as a figure here for the line. We've got a preview. We haven't seen the full figure yet, but I'm sure it will be absolutely awesome. This Ivy here from the Arkham City line, and I hope that she will be a success, and then Prime 1 reconsiders maybe with a new Arkham game, and will also give us the remaining figures like Penguin and Riddler and Ra's al Ghul and the others. But now let's talk battle damage Batman here. So figure completely the same. The face is covered in mud. I don't know whether you can see that here, but he's pretty dirty. The same with the cowl here. So it's like a dirty version here of the OG Batman cowl and hat, as you can see. So very clean face, in contrast to quite of a dirty face here. Haven't gone through rain and mud and battles and whatever. So then the chest plate is, sorry, let me focus here. Chest plate is really, really well designed. So it's much darker than the OG chest plate here, as you can see, which has these gray colors. This one is pretty much the same black as the one here from the Prestige version. Of course, completely messed up here with a gunshot. Lots of battle damage on it. And basically throughout the whole figure you have these dirty, mudded areas. Well, the color scheme of the suit is more or less the same as the one from the original version, but of course the gray areas are much darker here because they are just covered in this mud and dirt. Pretty cool. Really like it a lot. Resembles the game, of course, since, well, it's an action game and you're beating the crap out of a lot of thugs here with Batman. And then the one difference is also the cape. The cape is really well done, covered here in these muddy areas and totally worn, gone through a lot of fights here. So I think this is really well done. It also goes on here in the inside where you can see that you have these worn areas here on the inside where it's just scratched up and even has some holes in it, as you can see here. See-through holes. So really cool. Base is the same. The gargoyles are somewhere in between black and gray. So yeah, that's the three versions here of the Arkham Knight Batman, guys. So you got a couple of switch outs. For the Prestige version, you've got 3 different hand options here. So this is the normal one. I'm just making the fist. You've got the one here with the grappling gun. Looking pretty cool. So actually the grappling gun is a hand that you have for all of these figures. So you can remove this grappling hook here. It's a separate piece. And then the hand with the gun. Looking pretty awesome, like in the game. And then for this version you also have this hand here with the batarang here. Also a very nice option to display Batman here with his, I would say, favorite signature weapon. So this batarang hand was also the exclusive for the original Batman figure, but for this one I only have the regular figure. So you have the normal fist and you've got the grappling hook. What a nice statue. And then here for the battle damage version, also the normal fist hand, then the grappling hook, so now we've got all here. Now this one has the batarang, 2 grappling hook looks, and for the battle damage version you get another head option, which I want to show you now. That's the Bruce Wayne unmasked head in a battle damage version, so covered in blood here, dirty, gone through a fight. So this is basically the look, if I recall, correctly here from the end scene of the Arkham Knight game, where he pulls off the cowl and I think is standing on Wayne Manor maybe, or on the GCPD police station building. I can't remember exactly, but definitely he's looking over Gotham, and his identity was revealed. Well, I don't know how they will continue this line now that everybody knows who is Batman, but we'll see. So maybe we are getting a prequel or something like that. Okay, guys, so this was my short review here of all 3 Batman versions here from Prime 1 Studios. I hope you liked it. I'm not sure whether I will be keeping all. Maybe yes, because I just love this figure and I think it looks super cool to have all the 3 versions actually on display. If I had to choose which one's the best, well, it's really difficult. I mean, the original one has got my heart, of course, because it was my first figure of the line, and it looks absolutely amazing. It's of course a very clean version, museum version here of the figure. The Prestige version has a bit less details, if you will so, because it's more like all covered in black, but of course the golden Batman symbol is amazing. It really pops. Really, really cool look. And of course you also got the battering hand. So if you hadn't had a chance to get the exclusive version of the original figure, as I did because I started collecting this line quite late, then you've got the option here to display Batman here with the battering, which is also cool. And the battle damage version, of course, is amazing as well. I mean, resembles perfectly the feeling of the game, and you've got this amazing extra head here, which looks really good. So you decide which one you like the most. For me, probably it's still the original version, but all 3 are just amazing. So I hope you have a good day and a good week, and see you next time, guys, with another video review here of one of the upcoming figures of Prime 1 Studios. Bye bye, and see you next time.